Once again, welcome to Ask Chuck, my weekly webcast, weekly whenever the Senate's in session, and we'll be in session yet a couple more weeks before we take off for the Memorial Day weekend, and then back in session again in June and July until we have a summer break in August. This is my opportunity to answer questions for you. We answer questions that are email, Facebook, or Twitter. So I'll go immediately to questions. And we have Ken from Windsor Heights emails. Mexican immigration laws are stricter than our own. We need laws like Arizona new law to make sure that immigrants come here legally. Quite frankly, I agree with you at the federal level. I'm not going to tell the state of Iowa or the legislature, because I'm not a member of that body, exactly what they should pass, but I can sure have sympathy for what Arizona did from the standpoint that the federal government has a responsibility for our national security, and that obviously means controlling our borders. That's the essence of being a sovereign nation. And when the federal government can't keep ranchers in Arizona from being murdered by people that are here illegally, then of course I think the state, under the 10th Amendment and the police powers that the state has under the federal Constitution and under their own Constitution, are expected to protect their citizens. And that's what I see Arizona doing. We had a murder in northwest Iowa maybe 8, 9, 10 years ago that I remember very well, that immigration people didn't respond to local police about the danger of a certain person. He was shipped out of the country, but he came right back and on the return murdered an Iowan. So I think there's plenty of instances in which the federal government's not doing its responsibility, and there in Windsor Heights, or even where I live near New Hartford, we would expect the local sheriff or the local police to protect us, and particularly when it's life-threatening. Now, you say the immigration laws in Mexico are stronger than in Iowa. I don't know that, but I'll take your word for it. But I believe at the federal level, we need to pass laws that continue building the fence. We need to put more border patrol on. We need to have E-Verify so that we know that people are legally in this country, at least according to their social security number. And we obviously need to enhance premiums, penalties for employers that hire people that are here illegally. Do everything we can discourage to keep people from crossing the border. Once they cross the border, that they can't, that they'll be found out and deported if in fact they're illegally in the country. One thing that keeps us from doing all those things that I just mentioned is the last item that ought to be in a bill, or not in a bill. And I say not in a bill, and that's amnesty. But there's other people around here feel that there ought to be amnesty. And that issue of amnesty, as opposed to everything else that I said ought to be in an immigration bill, really keeps a bill from passing. So that's where we are on immigration. So in the meantime, states under the 10th Amendment have a responsibility to protect their citizens. Next I go to a question from, it's from Chet of Council Bluffs on Twitter. How much is the oil spill going to cost, and where is it coming from? As far as I know, based upon everything I've heard my colleagues in Congress say, and everything that I've heard British Petroleum say, everything I've heard people in the administration say, that the full cost is going to be borne by British Petroleum, and quite frankly, I don't think anybody at this point knows exactly what that total cost will be. I haven't heard of any of it coming out of the taxpayer's pocket, and I'll be responding to that when there's any indication of that. But I think now full responsibility and cost goes with British Petroleum, or I guess they go now by the acronym BP. what is coming up the rest of this week is a regulatory reform bill. We've been on it last week, be on it this week, and it wouldn't surprise me that it'd go over into next week. In the meantime, I'm going to be offering some amendments or co-sponsoring amendments to improve the bill and hopefully get a bill that will bring transparency to our financial system, particularly in derivatives, where we've had problems in the past, and those problems in the past has brought about the financial disaster that we had in 2008 and 2009. Thank you very much, and please come back next week for Ask Chuck.